What's up, folks? I got two replay codes from my nephew here. I just wanted to go ahead and walk through or watch two of his tank games. He was really proud of these, and I wanted to go ahead and see it. If you watched this video already, or if this feels very familiar, it's because I actually did record this and accidentally stopped right after starting the second replay. So I'm redoing it, and we're going to go ahead and watch both. That's it. Junkrat pants. Gonna go ahead and make sure to watch both so that I see both replays and can see the whole thing. And this is going to be kind of fun doing this again because I've already done it once. Eichenwald is a fun map. I enjoy watching this one. It's actually one of my favorite maps just because there's such a combination of open space and chokes, a lot of places to flank, but also some open areas for fights. Yeah, it's a good one. So right off the bat, my nephew plays a lot of Sombra. He's actually Sombra Main, and you can see him on D.Va. He really enjoys playing tank and does a lot of plays tank, but one thing that cracks me up is he plays tank like a damagey flanker sometimes. So right now, clearly, he's just duking it out face-to-face on the point, using those jets to go straight over the wall, which is a really gutsy move. But that's his play as Sombra, is you go over that way, so he's playing a very similar way and leaning on his strongest skill set while playing a totally different role. So that's something that I've got in mind as context while watching this game. And know that the D.Va drop over there is a potential back cap. It's really risky, though, if the other team turns on you or they just kill the rest of your team and then come deal with you later. Doing it again, but now his team is kind of on the point, so it worked. Like, the tank bust through, did open up space, and his team did follow it up, so good melee on the Genji to avoid the deflect. The D.Va mirror is such a weird matchup. I would almost certainly switch off D.Va if it was a D.Va mirror match. Doing pretty well as unmech D.Va, who I'm also particularly bad with. And I wanted to watch this, right? Just because my nephew is very proud of it. He's got a very different playstyle than me, and because he's quite good at heroes like D.Va, who I like to think I'm a good D.Va, but yeah, could definitely get better. Shout out to my brother, my nephew's father, who called me out the fact that the video was incomplete. That I stopped it in the middle of the second replay. I didn't realize that. That is tough. When you're doing the D.Va rocket and you have a Genji deflecting and that's the only target, it's frustrating. Alright, doing the dive over. And now at this point, like, the enemy team is reacting fairly well to this. It's kind of, right? So they're sort of reacting to it, but then it seems like they're not prepared for it, for the D.Va to come over the building, because it's caught them off guard every time. Ooh, that was nice. Always fun to see your main playing a support on you and seeing that hack pop up from that Sombra. Yikes. Really, really effective Genji deflect. It's a good Genji. I will say also, it is a little hard to follow this replay because I'm pretty fast twitch. But in Overwatch, I've made a point of reducing my mouse difficulty because I got early feedback early on that I was just flicking around too much and it was affecting my aim. And that was one of the most true pieces of feedback I've ever gotten, is that you should reduce your overall mouse speed so that your aim is a little bit more consistent and more controlled. And then you can inch it up as you get better, or you can keep it high, either way. Oh, I like the arc of those rockets. But yeah, my sensitivity was too high. But of course, my nephew plays Sombra, so you want that super fast twitch. I'm also still getting used to the replays where it's red versus blue. My instinct is automatically like red is bad, blue is good, so friendly versus enemy, what is it? Identify friend foe, the IFF. Ooh, did he pop him off the edge? I think he did. Nice, nice. The boop and melee right off the edge. That Genji was playing very high risk. This also is the final day before, I believe at last count, we're 24 hours away from the launch of Season 9. So I'm excited to kind of watch this. So we're looking at D.Va with 650 hit points. That's going to go up tomorrow. And so going for the high ground, doing some really good stuff with D.Va that's just really good advice. The big one being clear the high ground, because that is D.Va's specialty. check something real quick. And we're doing, like, the D.Va mirror match is crazy. I still just, seeing that, it blows my mind. I've never done a D.Va mirror match. Again, I would probably switch off it rather than stick with it, because it feels just like... But I was really impressed watching this the first time at how well my nephew has won those. He's been more than 50-50 on beating D.Va head-to-head. And here we go, that KG going with the outflank. It's using position really well, just general play. Now for me, when I play tank, the thing I really emphasize is sticking with and supporting the team. So I'm always on the point, I'm always knocking people away from my squishies. That's what I do, but I'm not great at taking different angles, taking different lanes, and kind of doing the other part of the game. And so I really lean on the rest of my team to do that, and here we're seeing a D.Va tank, like look at that. He's beating the heck out of that other D.Va. And the Mercy pocket helped. And then getting back on the point, nice. So he's doing a really good job alternating between chasing down, winning fights, clearing high ground, and then also being on the point. So just a very effective, very balanced playstyle. I gotta admire. Kid's got good fundamentals. Oh, is this the moment? And I don't know what that D.Va was doing, if they were trying to eat it. And then the remake. So that, I saw that, but didn't quite register what happened. So that D.Va bomb was a team kill, and then the remake was the double kill. So he killed the... D.Va was the only survivor of the D.Va bomb, because the mech saved her, and then killed her with the remake. And now I don't think I've ever landed a remake, and there's that deflecting Genji again. He's a really tough piece there. I would be tempted to throw a melee in the team somewhere to deal with that Genji. It's like my personal favorite tank is Ramatra, and I love a deflecting Genji because you just punch him. Yeah, which I guess then he cancels the deflect and, you know, does his thing. But still see him taking a lot of damage at the front, but it wasn't a bad play. It was just hard to keep track of where the rest of the team was. So there's round one. We're going to look at round two. But yeah, plays fast, plays aggressive, plays flanky, which is really kind of fun to watch. Every time I watch this, I watch the playstyle and see kind of the Sombra instincts in my nephew. I really, really want him to play Doom. I want to see what he would do with a Doom Fist. We get 16 seconds for the recap here. I can try to jump ahead on that. There we go. Yeah, he's got such natural instincts for a Doomfist to dive in and get stuff. I think he'd have a really, really good time, and I would love to see it, because I have always wanted to play alongside a really good, effective Doomfist, and so that's kind of, you know, I'm going to encourage that, because I think that'd be a very unique playstyle. And he doesn't play barrier tanks. He's playing a lot of interesting, heavily ranged tanks, which is a thing. But I think he likes the mobility a lot, and I'll have to talk to him about this. But so the D.Va Rocket feels very naturally in his lane. Pew, javelin in the sky. Does that fall far enough where it would actually hit someone doing that? I wonder. I did just play kind of a weird match where there was a lever and we had sort of a gentleman's agreement, just wait the timer out. And I threw a Sigma rock straight up in the air, and it does come back down. So that's a fun tech I may have to try at some point. Just chuck it in the air and then fight back a little bit, make someone chase you, and try to get the rock to land on their heads on the way back down. Alright, so the Orisa play, totally different than the D.Va play. It's much more head-on. Still got issues with the Deflect Genji. That Deflect Genji is like a one-trick pony that's caused a lot of problems this game. There, he's still there. Ah, deflected the javelin. I think I've mentioned a bunch. One of the moments I've laughed the hardest about in all of Overwatch 2, one of those weird mechanics, is having Genji deflect your javelin back and hit you with it as a Orisa. I've had it happen to me once, and I was like, what? Okay. Ooh, and look at that timing. The defense matrix went down just fast enough, or just early enough for that javelin to actually land. Now here, you don't have an out. That was a really risky play to get behind the D.Va. That was diving really, really, really deep, and the rest of the team was there to punish. Look at this duel going in the background. What was was that? Oh, wow. Mercy dove all the way back there and duked it out with Tracer. Or I guess Tracer was spawn camping. Okay. There we go. I'm still mixing up the blue and the red in these replays. I gotta get that down. Ooh, Riptire. My personal challenge right now has been playing is if I hear the Riptire to look for it and try to shoot it. I've taken down 2 of them so far. Very proud. 2 out of the 3 Riptires I've run against since that was my goal, I've actually shot before they went off. And this, oh my god, I love that moment. That little bit of rock. And I was so impressed with that moment. Oh, Wolf, nephew, that you knew exactly your profile and that rock would save you from the D.Va bomb. Just, oh, I don't know if you knew. Maybe you just guessed. But I would have tried to jump down on the stairs and probably fallen off the map. But I love it.
I'm not giving up.
And they've got 3.5 minutes to get this, and they have to get it right there. This is tough. Yeah, and you're discorded. You never ever want to be discorded as a tank, but especially as someone like D.Va. Woo! Okay, so that was one. We're gonna go ahead and go through the next one. And this is a game where I actually played with both my nephews and my brother. So we were a 4-stack with our one poor rando who got stuck with the family. But it's a good game. I really enjoyed this one. And now this one we are switching from... We're spectating Malga. And now one thing that I kept in mind going into this is Malga's very much frontline. He goes like face to face, just goes right in there. But playing as a Sombra Main, the instincts are weird, right? So you'll see quite a bit of that in this game.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
And this is Samoa. This is a map that I'm still getting used to. Big arena middle bit. This is my favorite of the Samoa potential maps. Again, that red versus blue. And all of us are in here. So we got my nephew on Soldier. There's me on Zen. Ooh, there we go on the point. And here, that flank. So he didn't go straight to the front. He went around the back. And now he's going around the other team and clearing turrets that were meant to prevent flankers. And the whole team is doing well in the front line so he can get away with this. But then he's going back here and taking out the squishies. Like really, really good, effective moves. Just isolating the Ramatra, avoiding the turret. Doing a great job using weird off angles in ways that I would never expect a Malga to do. This match in particular I love to watch because I was on the high ground as Zen when I wasn't dead, which I was in this exact moment. Doing well, I had a great game, but it was just crazy to watch this play from Malga. So now he's in the middle of the point, right? Middle, everything, whatever. And that's a place where Malga's very comfortable, especially with healer support, which he has. But you see a bunch of times in this game the way he just sort of goes around corners and goes around edges and just gets in places that a tank usually won't do. Like, it's a really unusual playstyle that I found really interesting to watch. And he's got a pretty great grasp of Malga's kit too, knowing that if you fired the one gun, it's very accurate. If you fire both, you do a bunch of damage and get more healing, but reduces your accuracy. God, just punching. Killed Ramatra with melee. Ooh! And went down, but man, he had a really good run there. A lot of progress on the point. And a good chunk of the team is still here to support. Like 4 of us are still on. Tank is down, which is a bummer, but we're still holding our own. That's the mythic skin from last Battle Pass, right? I like this one. That's a cool skin. Took a moment just to drop the mic. Come on, buddy. Enjoying the view, taking out some windows. Got a little distracted by smelling the flowers, but then right back into the fight. There it was kind of a target-rich environment, and there you see the Sombra instincts where he was very much being really cautious, right? Which, of course, is really good instincts all the time, but it's not something you usually see from a tank player, especially Malga. And then got into the scrum. And this Ramatra player had a tough time dealing with it. Oh, and there's the cage fight! And the Ramatra was just trying not to deal with the Malga, which I understand, but That was a really good Zen. That Zen and I were having a grudge match this game, and it was a good time. The Zen mirror match is a very weird matchup. Very murdery. Usually end up just popping each other off constantly. Very nice. Okay, first point. It's high noon. Oh, running for the high noon. Okay, round 1. And again, this is the one where all 4 of us are there. We're on comms. We're all supporting. This is with my brother, who's my Overwatch coach, who is my nephew's dad, of course. So we've got the coaching staff, we've got the support staff, and we're able to communicate fairly effectively. And we know each other's play style, so we can play together fairly well. Which is cool. This is the first time I've been gaming for a long time. Usually had 1 or 2 friends I could play with, usually my brother. But having 4 who can all play together is pretty cool and new for me. I know a lot of y'all especially are probably like, yeah, whatever, we've been doing that forever, but it's new for me. Now this one, both playing and watching, this was just a weird match. There goes Soldier going in, there's little nephew. That Soldier had a very good game. Not shooting, nice dodge on the rock, not shooting at the Sigma when he has his thing up. Took heavy damage from the Echo. But there, right, that was a head-to-head fight, just went straight in the middle. And there's my brother. Is that Genji running around making a mess. There's me as the Zen, duking it out with the other Zen, having our little grudge match. Yeah, Malga does not want to discord. We had an orb fight, so he's got both orbs on now, and then he's got the Mercy. And Mercy was our 5th. If you're going to get a 5th and it's a Mercy, that's what you want. Oh man, really went in there. And here I mentioned going the flanks, just dove straight on that Zen. Very effective, broke up the formation. And put them completely off. Oh. And here it died, but it was enough that it allowed us to follow up and really do some damage and prep for his coming back. Blue team has the point, but, you know, just rushing and back in the point. So red is now all around it. We're dealing with everything here. Malga's coming back in, taking a minute to shoot at some terrain. Come on, buddy. Focus. But no, and this is a much more head-to-head match, but there was a lot of flanking from other players on the team. Took out the trap. Very nice, very nice. I will say on this one, our Mercy was excellent, but also got to shout out my young nephew, who was playing that Soldier, did a really great job this match too. They both had a great game. And my brother doesn't usually play... There we go, checking out the scenery again. My brother doesn't usually play Genji, as far as I know, so that was an unusual look for him. The Echo into Malga. Oof. Immediately down. Love it. And then there's that Dragonblade discorded Genji just going in there. And I tried to save him, didn't make it. I gave him a really hard time for that, like you do. And then our Mercy rezzed him, which, beautiful. Yeah, this is kind of a strange game. The other team had an early lead and did well, but then we had a combination of flankers and then the flanker instinct Malga. Right now, again, it's fairly head-to-head, just going straight forward, but then the cage fight, oh man, knowing when to use that cage fight and just take out the entire team. Ooh! And 4 Sigma. And a punch. Ooh. Team kill, and that's the 2nd game in a row. I mean, this is 2 replays. These weren't games in a row, right? But 2 replays in a row where my nephew got a team kill as a tank. Different tanks, too. Oh, the anti. And that, again, was our 5th support. No. Where'd the anti go? I guess that was us who were anti. Anyway. And Riptire. Not good. But here, the Riptire took a hard left turn to take me out. And so that pure spite, where somebody was really mad at Zen, decided to leave Malga. That was an interesting call. Potentially a good call, but I don't know, it didn't particularly work in that instance. But it is funny, like when the Riptire comes just for you, you have to feel a little bit special. Then that Mercy res, great 5th, good job Mercy. Shout out to Ultra Gamer 89, did a pretty great job supporting us. There's also kind of a test, right? Just to go off on a tangent here at the very end. If you are playing a 4 stack with 4 players in a team and the 5th jumps in, it is testament both to that player's skill and your team's kind of passive communication if they're able to follow and keep up and support you well. That's one of the best expressions of just being generally good at Overwatch, in my opinion, is being able to play clearly enough that a fifth can jump in and actually support you, and then also being able to just play effectively with them. That's awesome. So, good for that, Mercy. Our fifth was excellent. That was it, both replays. Hopefully the video includes both now. I'm going to re-upload this. If you watched this already, thank you for your patience.